Most people think you need to be rich to buy assets. Wrong. You need assets to become rich. And the richest people you know? They started buying them when they were completely broke. This changes everything. Here's what's keeping you stuck. You're waiting. You're waiting to have enough money. Waiting until you feel ready. Waiting until that big promotion hits. Waiting. Meanwhile, every single day you're not building wealth. You're actually moving backward. Inflation is eating your money alive. You're trading hours for dollars, and those hours? They're not renewable. You feel like you're working harder than ever, but staying in the exact same place financially. That's because you're focused on income, not assets. Income is temporary. Assets are permanent. Assets work for you while you sleep. And the insane part? The best time to start buying assets was yesterday. The second best time is right now. Let me start with what separates broke people from wealthy people on a fundamental level. Broke people sell time. Wealthy people sell systems. And the easiest system to start building? Digital assets. I'm talking about things that exist online and generate income without you being physically present. Think about this: a YouTube channel, a digital course, a blog, a podcast, an email list. These aren't new ideas, right? But here's what's crazy. Most people dismiss them because they say, "Oh, I need money to start," or "that takes too long." Wrong on both counts. You can start a YouTube channel for $0. Same with a podcast. Same with a blog. The only investment is time. And here's the psychological shift that matters. When you stop thinking about making money and start thinking about building assets, your entire approach changes. I know someone who started a YouTube channel documenting his journey learning to code. Zero audience at first, but he kept showing up. After 8 months, he had 10,000 subscribers. After 2 years, that channel was making him $2,000 a month passively. He wasn't getting rich quick, but he was building something that would pay him for the rest of his life. Meanwhile, the people laughing at him for wasting time on YouTube, they were still trading hours for dollars, making the same salary as before. Digital assets are the ultimate wealth hack because they scale. You create one YouTube video. That video can make you money for the next decade. You take one client, you trade those hours, and they're gone forever. Now, I know everyone talks about real estate, but they usually talk about it wrong. They say, "Oh, just buy a house and wait." That's not the play. The play is understanding what real estate teaches you about leverage and debt. This is crucial because once you understand it with property, you understand it everywhere. Here's the thing about real estate that broke people don't get. You can control a $300,000 asset with $30,000 of your own money. That's leverage. That's OPM. Other people's money. The bank lends you most of it. Your tenant pays the mortgage. You own an appreciating asset that someone else is financing. Do you see the genius in that? Most broke people see debt as failure. Rich people see debt as a tool. But here's the qualifier. You need to use good debt, not bad debt. Bad debt is buying a car that loses value. Good debt is buying an asset that appreciates or produces income. When you buy a rental property, the rent covers the mortgage plus gives you cash flow. You're literally getting paid to own an asset. Can't do that with a car. But here's what's actually important. Even if you're not ready to buy property yet, you need to start thinking like a property owner. What assets could I control with small money? What investments appreciate instead of depreciate? Real estate forces you to think long-term. It forces you to understand taxes, depreciation, equity, appreciation. You become financially literate accidentally, just by owning property. And that financial literacy, that's the real asset. This one hits different because it's the most democratic asset on the planet. No money required. No connections required. Just work. Your skills are your most valuable asset. And I'm not talking about your job skills. I'm talking about skills that other people will pay for outside of your W-2. This is where most people completely miss the boat. They think, I have no assets because I have no money. But they have something better. They have time and capacity to learn. Think about it like this. What do you do already that people would pay for? Can you write, design, code, coach, build, create, teach? Every single one of those is an asset. But here's where it gets powerful. You can stack these skills. I know a guy who knew design and marketing. He started freelancing design on Fiverr. $10 per logo at first. It was painful, honestly, but he kept going. After 300 logos, he'd made $3,000. After 1,000 logos, he'd made $10,000. Then he realized he could make a template. A design template that he sells once and gets paid forever. He spent 2 weeks building it. That template has now made him more than he made in 5 years of freelance work. Why? Because he turned his time for money skill into an asset. He turned a service into a product. This is the mindset shift that matters. Everything you know is an asset. Your experience is an asset. Your network is an asset. The audience you build is an asset. But you have to treat them like assets and invest in them intentionally. Most people just let these things happen by accident. Rich people engineer them deliberately. So here's what I need you to understand. You don't need permission to start building assets. You don't need a certain amount of money. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment. The perfect moment is now. Pick one. Just one. Start a YouTube channel. Buy a rental property. Learn a new skill and sell it. Build an email list. Create something. But stop waiting. Stop telling yourself you're not ready. You're not ready because you haven't started. The only way to become ready is to begin. And when you do, when you shift from trading time for money to building assets that work for you, everything changes. Your stress drops because you're not dependent on one income source. Your future becomes secure because you're compounding wealth, not just earning it. This is how generational wealth is built, not by making 6 figures, but by building assets that make 6 figures for you. So go, comment down below, what asset are you building first? And subscribe because we're dropping new content every single week on the exact strategies rich people use to build wealth. Let's get it.